Hey, what is up, guys? I hope you're all having an amazing day. This is the first review that I do of a video game, and recently I did do an upload of Surgeon Simulator 2 on the channel. Now, I did want to take a step back and actually relax and really think about the game in the way that it is. I did decide to actually go back and play a little bit more because there were some fun aspects to it. There's some fun parts in the surgery that I wanted to go back to and enjoy once more. But after trying to enjoy it once more, I kind of realized what this game really was, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. But I want to go into detail and explain my point of view on in this video. So the game starts you off in the tutorial pretty much very simple. You really understand just how to go through doors, how to use your hand, how to move, all those, all those tutorial stuff, and how to use the tools as well. So whenever you go into the first level, already you start seeing the issue of the game. And it's very, very apparent. And I'm going to talk about the cons first because I feel like I need to get that part out of my system. So the cons of this game is, well, let's talk about the controls for once and the surgery itself. The surgery itself is very, very different than what it used to be, at least in Surgeon Simulator 1. And because this is calling itself Surgeon Simulator 2, I will be making comparisons of both games, whether you like it or not. I know some people don't like to compare them, but I feel like I have to in this case, since it is getting its inspiration from it. So the biggest thing about Surgeon Simulator 1 is you were put into a room surrounded by a whole bunch of different types of tools to perform the surgery. And it was a somewhat difficult game with not the easiest controls out there, but once you got used to it, it became a lot of fun, and it was very, very challenging. There were moments in which whenever you were trying to stop the bleeding, you could actually stab yourself. So there was a little bit of difficulty to the game, but it was very, very, very fun. So the biggest thing that this game has and makes it very, very difficult, you'll actually see on the screen in a moment, it's the fact that it takes away from surgery, and it puts it more towards puzzles and problem solving to a certain extent, and finding different pathways, things that are being introduced into a game like this. But what the developers forgot to understand is, why was this video game so loved? This video game was so popular and so much fun because of the surgery aspect of it, because of the difficulty involved with it. It wasn't extremely difficult, but the controls weren't perfect, which made it a little bit tough and added a little bit of love to that. The biggest thing that I want to take away from that is that this game does not focus on surgeries, but more problem solving. I took longer walking around everywhere just to find the parts that I needed in order to perform a surgery. And as you can tell, this here is actually, I believe it's the 5th level to the story mode. And I'm not really going to talk a whole bunch about the story mode since I only got to this level. But I got what I needed. So I'm not going to talk about the story itself. I'm not going to judge that in any way, shape, or form. But for this being the 5th level of a game, usually the difficulty keeps ramping up, or things get a little bit trickier, or it's a little bit more complicated. That did not happen in this level. What happens is you change or you swap an arm, which is very, very simple. As you can tell, it's very easy to do, but it takes so long simply because of how much walking you have to do, how much assessing of where everything is you have to do. And that's what takes the longest in this game, which for a game called Surgeon Simulator, you're not wanting to walk around a lot and look for body parts and look for tools. You're wanting to do surgery. That's really why you're playing the game. So as you can tell, then I have to go over through this just to get a fuse, just to move it, to use the lever to move the walls, and it takes me a little bit. But the point that I'm trying to make is that the biggest issue that this game did for itself is to call itself Surgeon Simulator 2. If it had called itself something different, even though you would have associated it with Surgeon Simulator 2, you would have judged it for its own game. It's the fact that it calls itself Surgeon Simulator 2 and you're forced to do all of these puzzles. This video here that you're watching is about 6 minutes long. I probably took, I'm gonna say maybe 1 minute just to do surgery. And I don't finish this level because I honestly just couldn't. I could not get through this level because I was just so frustrated that they were trying to make this game and call it Surgeon Simulator 2. So that's, I think, is its biggest con. If it had simply named itself something different, you would have judged it differently. But you can't follow up a franchise or try to create a franchise from that game and completely switch it up. Now that I've talked about the cons, let's talk about the positives. They did make the game simpler, which you can take that to a certain extent as a positive. I feel like it makes it a little bit friendlier for people to actually enjoy. But the other thing is, I feel like it's nice that you can do co-op. I personally didn't experience the co-op, so I can't really talk a whole bunch on that. But I think it's actually nice that you're able to do surgery with other people. And in this part of the episode here, I thought I was finally going to do surgery, and I was really, really excited for that. But then it turned out that, nope, just kidding. You're only going to go through a hole on the ground. And again, it's trying to do something that the game just isn't known for that. It's not known for problem solving, for puzzle solving, for walking around, for none of that. It's known for surgery. And I feel like I'm ranting a bit, so I'm going to make the video not very long. But I think those are the positives. The positives, it makes the game a little bit easier for other audiences to actually enjoy it. But I also think that it makes the game a little less fun by doing that. And the co-op aspect of it is really cool. I also think that they also added a custom mode where you're actually able to create different scenarios and people around the globe are able to play them, which I think is a really cool thing. But I feel like if they had simply gotten Surgeon Simulator and left it practically identical and created it more as if it was DLC or maybe a revival of that game, and added co-op to it, I think it would have been great. And I'm not going to say it's easy to do that, but I've seen so many different developers actually using this type of hand movements to create other games that are co-op or includes multiple people other than just a solo game. I think that would have been awesome. You could have done so much with that, and I think it would have been a lot more well received. I think it was mainly the fact that you name yourself Surgeon Simulator 2. Most of it doesn't really feel like surgery. They're trying to create a storyline that you're not really invested into. It just feels like it's more of a hassle of the storyline's there and you kind of have to deal with it, and that's it. You have to deal with it while you're trying to simply play the game. The fact that you have to find the different tools and different syringes around the room and walk back and forth and back and forth and back and forth is very, very annoying, especially when you're just, again, trying to enjoy the game for being Surgeon Simulator. So overall, I've been looking at a couple reviews here and there, star reviews mainly. I haven't really actually gone through and watched someone review this game. I'll probably do that after this, actually. But I have been noticing that most people are giving it 3 stars. I think right now, as I'm recording this, it's almost at 1.5 stars in the Xbox Game Pass. So it was clearly not well received. I can absolutely see why. And yeah, I think that's really all I got to say. I just really think that it did not really embrace what the franchise was, and it tried to pretty much gain inspiration from Surgeon Simulator 2 and create a completely different game that is not appealing to the same people that enjoyed the first game. So I think if it had switched to a different name, probably would have been better received. But anyways, guys, that is my review for this game. If you like a whole bunch of puzzle solving and things like that, you would probably enjoy this game. For me personally, that was looking more forward to do surgery on a whole bunch of people and potentially just mess around. They had a lot more tools as well. Maybe there's more tools that get added throughout the game, but I didn't really see too many whenever I tried the custom games. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review and enjoyed my thoughts on this. Please leave a comment, let me know, give me some feedback on what I can do better in these reviews. I would really appreciate that, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.